I'm truly starting to realize the whole point of actually pursuing this path of medicine outside of just treating my future patients. It's as if God has shown me the only way to accomplish your goals, your ambitions, and all these dreams that you set forth for yourself is really by addressing the main barrier in the room, which is myself. It seems simple on the surface until you really start to dive deeper into the layers of like, damn, I'm really the only person that can stop me from accomplishing everything that I set my mind to. If you are constantly looking back at these old versions of yourself, the things that you didn't accomplish, your failures, and so forth, you fail to realize the person who you are in this present moment. Despite it all, you're still breathing, you still have time on the clock to actually rewrite the narrative of your story. I actually started to call myself out for realizing that this whole ideal version of myself that I had in my head and this current version of myself are the same individual. The only thing that is different between the two individuals is my thought process and how do I actually have perspective on my current situations that I'm overcoming, the future situations that I'm overcoming, and matching that identity to who I idolize as my future self. How would he actually tackle this situation? How would he appropriately address this situation? In medical school, you are faced with these constant silent battles of growth. You may think that the student right next to you has everything figured out and that they're just spot perfect, but couldn't be further from the truth. The reality is that many of us, whether you're a physician, you're a provider, you're a student, or so forth, we're all overcoming the same kind of obstacles. Whether that's overcoming imposter syndrome, you're dealing with your own personal failures, or you're just dealing with life that's outside of just studying medicine. The only defining characteristic out of all of this is how do you properly manage these thoughts and these obstacles that are thrown your way? What do you do to appropriately handle these things and move forward with persistence? I remember when I was younger, I used to look at physicians or just adults in general, right? Thinking that they had everything figured out. They had every answer to every solution. And now as an adult and working with other adults, I can tell you, could be farther from the truth. I think honestly at this point in my life, I realized that if you believe that at this magical point of your life, you're going to have everything figured out, it is completely foolish. It kind of undermines the whole process of growth and constantly rediscovering yourself. As I reflect on my past and realize these moments that I had with patients who were in their final days, I kind of realized that they all had the same kind of regrets. A lot of them wanted to pursue something in their life, whether it was an opportunity or a dream, but were hesitant based off of the possible judgment of others. They wish they spent more time with loved ones, family, and friends, but instead kind of forego those opportunities to pursue financial means. And last but certainly not least, a lot of them just wish they stood on their boundaries and their backbone to actually say no to things that they know wouldn't actually serve them. In your moments of feeling down or feeling like you have this failure cloud that's following you and that will never actually pass, realize that you are the author of your story. You have the ability to rewrite the narrative of this next chapter in your life, your future chapters of your life, and actually dictate how this story is actually going to be published.